Bahamas.
Abuse, domestic violence, suicidal tendencies. Are you being stressed out from these problems? Call the national hotline at 422-2763 or 322-2763. There are trained social workers available 24 hours to help you. Know that you are not alone in this.
The Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training advises the public that the registration process of the 2026-2027 school year for public school students has commenced. Parents are urged to register their children before the deadline of the 31st of March, 2026. Here's what you'll need: your child's proof of identity, immunization card, their most recent transcript or report card, parents or guardians' proof of identity. Register before the deadline to ensure a seamless transition into the new school year. Don't delay. Register today.
At the House of Assembly, I'm Lakush Lapinder. This is ZNS.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, the Transportation Security Administration keeping its pre-check program operational despite a partial U.S. government shutdown. We'll tell you how it could impact travelers to and from the United States tonight. Students at the Nassau Christian School set to christen their newly refurbished library. And coming up in sports, champions crowned at the 34th edition of the North Long Island High Basketball Jamboree. The Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition, starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. The Associated Press is reporting that the Transportation Security Administration says its pre-check program will remain in operation. This despite the U.S. Department of Homeland Security announcing earlier that the service would be suspended as of 6 a.m. Sunday due to the partial U.S. government shutdown, a move that would have slow security processing and impact travel for millions of airport travelers. The TSA says it will evaluate on a case-by-case basis and adjust operations according to staffing changes. In light of that initial announcement, the Lynden Pinling International Airport issued a flyer urging travelers to arrive at the airport 3 to 4 hours ahead of time. U.S. citizens, lawful permanent residents, and eligible visitors were asked to download mobile passport control to speed up processing at U.S. Customs and Border Control pre-clearance. Now, despite the reversal, media consultant for Lynden Pinling International Airport, Shauna Lee Johnson, says global entry is still not available at the facility. The country's Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, addressing growing public interest surrounding reports that the British government is considering possible legislation to change the line of succession to the Crown. Minister Mitchell acknowledged that his office has received a number of queries on the matter. He clarified that the British monarch, currently Charles III, is also King of the Bahamas, and any alteration to succession laws could have constitutional implications for the Bahamas. As such, the government has been advised that consultation with the Bahamian government may be required should formal steps be taken. However, Minister Mitchell made it clear that at this time, there's no concrete proposal before the government of the Bahamas. He emphasized that it would be inappropriate to speculate or offer a comment on hypothetical legislation that has not yet materialized. Now, the minister concluded by assuring the Bahamian people that should the issue formally arise, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis will keep the country fully informed of any developments. For now, though, the matter remains under observation, and the government stands ready if and when consultation becomes necessary. And in other national developments, the government is strengthening emergency healthcare services with a major investment in new ambulances. 15 ambulances have been purchased from an international vendor to help meet the growing demand at the Princess Margaret Hospital and the Rand Memorial Hospital. Now, the new fleet is expected to significantly improve response times, ensuring safer and faster transportation for the sick and injured. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. the Honorable Michael Darville told reporters headquarters, the ambulances will be strategically deployed across New Providence and Grand Bahama to reinforce emergency response capacity where it is needed most. Officials say the move is part of a broader effort to modernize public health care infrastructure and improve patient outcomes nationwide.
We have some other family islands that we're working on. We had some ENT graduates from the PHA Academy, but you know there's a certain amount of hours that they need to have under their belt before they can take the national exam. And once they're certified, then they meet the medical legal requirement.
You may remember the public outcry last year when Long Island resident Brenda Wells was transported on the back of a flatbed truck in the rain due to the absence of an ambulance on the island before being airlifted to Nassau for emergency care. The health minister says that situation has now been addressed. A new ambulance has been assigned to Long Island along with a qualified emergency medical technician to manage and operate the unit. The minister adds that additional improvements are also being made across several family islands to strengthen emergency response services.
We have some other family islands that we're working on. We had some ENT graduates from the PHA Academy, but you know there's a certain amount of hours that they need to have under their belt before they can take the national exam. And once they're certified, then they meet the medical legal requirement.
Police in Abaco probing a suspected arson that sparked before dawn in Dundas Town Saturday morning. Just before 5 a.m., officers were called to a home where a silver vehicle was found engulfed in flames. Fire crews managed to extinguish the blaze, but the car was destroyed. No other property was damaged and no injuries were reported. Police are now working to determine who set the fire and why. Investigations continue. Police here in the capital probing two sexual assaults reported just hours apart on Saturday. In the first, just before 4 a.m., a man armed with a sharp object allegedly broke into a Wolf Road home through a window and assaulted a woman as she slept. She was injured and taken to a hospital. The suspect fled on foot. In a second case, a 55-year-old man has been arrested after a woman reported she was taken from Centerville to a residence off Charles Saunders Highway and assaulted. Investigations continue. And still to come, the Kiwanis Regional District Governor is in the Bahamas. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition.
Every second matters. Every possession counts. The road to glory begins here. Tune into live coverage of the 2026 U Campbell Basketball Championship, Monday, February 23rd at 9 p.m. on the ZNS Radio and Television Network and streaming on our YouTube and Facebook platforms.
Let's go home! Let's go home, ladies and gentlemen! With his first shot. You don't like basketball.
Planning the execution of a newscast is serious business. From the assignment to the concept of the story, everything has to be precise, on point, always. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, is your trusted news service. We get it right the first time. Our preparation for you each night is done with care, knowing that our voices will reach you on 700 islands and keys with unquestionable accuracy. It gives me great pleasure each night to say,
welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm your national anchor, Mukesh Lopinder.
Kiwanis leaders from across the Bahamas came together at Christchurch Cathedral today for a high-profile gathering led by Lieutenant Governor Joe Knowles. The event marked the official visit of District Governor Cynthia Blackman from the Kiwanis Club of Barbados Pride, highlighting regional collaboration and community impact. Kiwanians and special guests packed the historic cathedral to discuss urgent initiatives shaping the future of Bahamian communities. Today's church service is one of several events leading up to the International Kiwanis Convention set to be held right here in the Bahamas next year. Governor Blackman says regional collaboration remains a top priority.
because she's also a Kiwanian, a distinguished president in Kiwanis. And it was great to have conversations with her about how Kiwanis can partner with the police to help the children within our community to have better options so that they would not identify crime as a way of life. And then we had the opportunity to meet the spouse of the Prime Minister. We did a courtesy call on Mrs. Anne-Marie Davis. And again, looking at opportunities how Kiwanis can partner with other organizations in Bahamas so that we can give the support needed to help improve the communities in Bahamas.
Governor Blackman arrived in the Bahamas on Thursday for a packed weekend of engagements. On Friday, she participated in community projects at Sybil Strawn Primary School and D.W. Davis Junior High School. She met with Commissioner of Police Shanta Knowles and paid a courtesy call on wife of the Prime Minister, Anne-Marie Davis.
3,900 Kiwanians in Bahamas, and they've already identified these projects that they're going to put in place. So, for example, in Eleuthera, there's an issue with fast driving and accidents, and they are already putting in place initiatives to help to combat that. We have families who are in need that are not necessarily living in the best conditions, and they are putting fundraisers in place in order to help families who are in need. So I'm confident that through the leadership of our Lieutenant Governor Joan Knowles, that we will see that level of improvement within the community.
From community service to community struggle, while Kiwanis leaders explore ways to uplift children across the islands, residents in Bain and Grantstown are still feeling the squeeze, facing rising costs and daily challenges that hit vulnerable families the hardest. Area Member of Parliament Wade Watson says progress has been made in education, but much more is needed to support vulnerable families. He highlighted the upcoming VAT reduction as a key step in easing financial pressures for residents.
That's so significant. It may seem small because me and you probably can afford it, but that's so significant to this constituency. I tell you, we run a breakfast program, we have a pantry program, and one of the greatest needs is feeding our constituents. Small home repairs is of significance in this constituency. And just making certain that our kids can get the education that they need. As a member of Parliament, I will continue to do what I can with the resources available to me so that I can help more in this constituency. Our single mothers need assistance. Our grandparents are growing up some of these children because some of the parents are passed away for whatever reason. And so I just thank God for the ability to be here, and I thank this administration for looking out for Baines and Grantstown.
While Bain and Grantstown looks for solutions to everyday challenges, another initiative is helping Bahamians take control of their health. Doctors Hospital is putting heart health front and center as the Bahamas joins the world in celebrating Heart Month this February. On Saturday, the hospital hosted free screenings for the community, checking blood pressure, sugar levels, cholesterol, and more, all aimed at promoting healthier lifestyles. The company's utilization manager is Shobana Neer.
And we have a nutritionist inside. She will give some advice about the people who have high blood pressure or high glucose, about the diet plan. And we have a rehabilitation center consult right here. She will give some exercise plans and all. And we have a LAMP personnel here. LAMP is a Doctors Hospital Insurance. That's a Loyalty Advantage membership program. So that is Doctors Hospital Insurance. So people who doesn't have a health insurance, that is a good program. They can do 2 annuals free. And even with that, with NHI, mostly everything can be done free.
Vice President of Quality and Patient Safety, Kim Sherman, says the screenings come as the hospital recently opened its new catheterization lab. She says the public can expect more health fairs in the future.
Heart Month in February, everything is timely. We're excited about this new initiative, but also given the opportunity to provide preventative maintenance and medicine to the community. So that's why we are here today.
It was a night of elegance, emotion, and impact as the Sir Victor Sassoon Bahamas Heart Foundation hosted its 60th annual Heart Ball at Bahamas. For more than 6 decades, the foundation has provided life-saving heart surgeries for children. West Calix Forbes was there.
For some parents, the sound of a heartbeat is more than comforting. It's a miracle. One family knows this all too well. Their daughter Janae was born with a serious heart condition. Her health took a sudden turn, but thanks to the life-saving donations through the Sir Sassoon Bahamas Heart Foundation, her surgery was made possible. Her father, Julian Smith, shares her recovery story.
And when we reach back out to the Heart Foundation, they say, hey, somebody actually gave something that can make that provision possible for your daughter. And we were elated with that, and and it was almost like a life and death situation, because had we not done it within that space of time, we could have lost our daughter. So thanks for somebody, whoever that was, who gave the donation and opened up the door for us. Now she's alive today, living. She's almost 5 years old, no medication, and she's strong and ready to go to school.
Janae's story is just one of many, and what's often overlooked is just how costly these life-saving surgeries can be. Chairman of the Heart Foundation, Roy Burns, shares more.
Well, it varies on what the particular need is. You may have a simple little hole in the heart that might be around $35,000 or $40,000. But if it's more complicated, where valves or arteries have to be relocated, then it can run over $100,000 or even $200,000.
While the price tag is high, the reward is priceless. Exactly why supporters gathered for what organizers call the largest heart ball yet.
The goal tonight is to raise as much money as we humanly possibly can, because we do have a lot of surgeries that we have to do each year for the children, 4 to 5, and they start at $100,000. So, we want to get as much money as we could in the kitty.
After 6 decades of hope, advocacy, and donations, the foundation says that they are far from done, and so is their partnership with the community. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
Thanks a lot, Wes. Stay tuned. ZNS Total Sports is up next.
Behind every strong economy is a bold entrepreneur, and we're here to support them, island by island. On Grand Bahama, we've helped 486 entrepreneurs turn their dreams into thriving businesses. Through over $14.4 million in approved funding, the SBDC is strengthening Grand Bahama's economy by investing in its leading sectors: food and beverage, tourism, and fishing. Every business we support strengthens the economy, starting with yours. SBDC Bahamas.
What does disability look like? In a busy airport terminal? At the check-in counter, at security checkpoints, or even in baggage claim? Passengers with hidden disabilities often go unnoticed. Globally, 1 in 7 persons have some form of a disability. 80% of those disabilities are non-visible. In an airport environment, workers are often unaware of hidden physical, mental, or neurological disabilities that some passengers live with. This can lead to frustration and a less than ideal travel experience. So, how do we make the invisible more visible? At LPIA, we've implemented the Sunflower Lanyard program. The lanyards are visual cues for airport workers to immediately identify passengers who might need additional assistance. NAD is teaming up with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities and key stakeholders at LPIA to launch the internationally recognized initiative. We're joining more than 180 airports and 26 countries already in the program. NAD is the first organization in the Bahamas to recognize the Sunflower Initiative. It's a way to show our continued commitment to making LPIA a safe, welcoming, and inclusive airport for all. Passengers needing to secure a free Sunflower lanyard can email sunflower@nas.bs or call 1242-397-8600. For more information, visit www.nassauLPIA.com.
a disabled person, a lot of times we feel like it's just us. And I recognize, even through my bone cancer journey and receiving an amputation, that it was time to join the community around me. So I started to dive into sports, adaptive sports, Paralympic development. So that's how I got into para archery. You know the lens that you have in yourself on your own value. How am I going to be productive? How am I going to leave a mark or do an impact in your community? You're going to have to decide that even in showing up, you're celebrating your wins, but also acknowledging and being accountable for the times that you did not do what you needed to do, but it's never a loss, it's a learn. And so actually helps us to focus on that, focus on ourselves and focus on our actions. Crime-free looks like me.
Do your part. Join the movement to a safer Bahamas.
Good evening and welcome to your stress-free Sunday sports. I'm Eugene Stewart. Well, after 3 intense days of competition down at Millers Park, the 34th edition of the North Long Island High Jamboree coming to a close last night with champions walking home with some hardware in all 3 divisions. And for the first time in tournament history, each championship game featuring a Long Island team. For the junior boys, the NGM Major Wildcats took on the Caciques of San Salvador Central. San Sal will get out to a comfortable lead of 12-6 at the end of the first half, with the Wildcats continuing to scratch away to make it 14-9. In the end, this one going down to the wire with the Caciques walking away as junior boys champions. You tell us you was going to take the championship back home now. Tell us how you feel.
I feel good.
Now, what the celebration going to look like for you? Intermediate boys featuring the hometown heroes North Long Island High Stars taking on the boys from down south, Inagua All-Age Wild Boars. Inagua would take the lead before halftime, making it 12-9, as the Stars would put the pressure on Inagua to go up 16-12 to begin the fourth. And doing it in grand style, the Stars would shine for Coach Turkey and the boys to keep the championship at home, 18-12.
The game was very good. They was up by 2. Then we started to close the gap. Then they were up again. Then we started to close the gap again. Then we just get in the hype motion and keep on playing and balling until the game was over. It was very important because since we lost one of our leaders, Amari, it wasn't the same. So all us just have to bear with each other and stop rowing and have a good mentality with each other and just ball in his name.
And for the nightcap, senior boys matchup, the Stingers out of Mangrove Key face the NGM Major Wildcats. The Stingers would maintain control of the first half, going up 14-7 at the end of the first and 18-12 at halftime. The Wildcats would fight back with all they had left to make it within 2 points with just 20 seconds left in the game, but so said, so done for Coach Janor and the boys as they would take the senior boys title back to Mangrove Key 30-28.
I think at the beginning we were a little bit slack off, but during the game we pick up our pace and we come out victorious. We from Mangrove Key, Andres, so the hometown and the crowd, they have the atmosphere, so it was good for us to be together because we were moving as one.
What the celebration can look like for you?
I gotta leave it up to my coach.
And as an added bonus to this year's tournament, it would be the girls getting into the action as the South Andros High Barracudas would take the girls' championship over North Long Island 17-15. And that's been your stress-free Sunday sports from Millers Park, Long Island. From cameraman Donnie Sweeting, I'm Eugene Stewart. Enjoy your weekend.
When I first introduced the program to them, some of them was reluctant at first that I don't know about agriculture, I don't know anything about farming.
The young man mentioned trauma that they experienced, that they saw the gardening as an escape.
So we need to ensure that our young men are exposed to initiatives that could improve their skills.
That's taking social services to the people. Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. on ZNS Television.
Hey, y'all, what's up?
Hey, what's that?
What y'all getting?
Listen, I've been waiting to march down some lobs here.
Hi, I'm Matthew. I will be you guys' waiter today. Can I take your order?
Oh, I've been jonesing for some grouper tread.
Y'all see this?
See, this ain't gonna work.
Where the fish gone, though?
But how, though?
Don't leave our children with no fish in their future. Protect our sea. Protect our way of life. Protect the Bahamas. To learn how you can help, find us on Facebook at Bahamas Protected. See the future.
Every second matters. Every possession counts. The road to glory begins here. Tune into live coverage of the 2026 Hugh Campbell Basketball Championship, Monday, February 23rd at 9 p.m. on the ZNS Radio and Television Network and streaming on our YouTube and Facebook platforms.
Let's go home! Let's go home, ladies and gentlemen! With it first, stop! We don't like basketball!
It's time now for a check on tonight's weather forecast. Chief Meteorologist Basil Jean joins us in studio with the latest temperatures. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, LaDawn. Outside of our studios, we have patchy clouds ahead of an advancing cold front, so this cloudiness will change within a few hours, where we'll see increasing cloudiness as we get close to 11 o'clock tonight. Now, the current temperature, 81 degrees, relative humidity at 59%. The winds are out of the west at 6 miles per hour. Your barometric pressure, 1,018.3 millibars. That's 30.07 inches, and the pressure is steady. Your temperatures around the islands, Freeport, 77, Green Key, 77, a little warm in Marsh, Barbacoa at 80 degrees, the Berry Islands, 79, Allenstown, Beverly, 76 degrees, Oakland Harbor Island, 80 degrees, Roxanne, Eleuthera, 79, Fresh Creek Central, Andros, 84, and Kemps, Space at Andros, the Mercury column at 87, also Black Point, Exuma, reporting 87 degrees, 80s in Allenstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and also in Rum Key, Georgetown, Exuma, 82 degrees, 82 in Clarencetown, Long Island, also Crooked Island at 82 degrees. Betsy Bay, Megawana, 83. Ackles, 83 degrees. Matthew, Nagua, 80. And the Turks and Caicos Islands reporting 84 degrees. Your boating forecast tonight for the northwestern islands. Those winds are going to be southwest to west at about 12 to 18 knots initially, but once that front goes through, the winds become northwest at 15 to 25 knots, gusting in excess of gale force at times behind the front. Very rough seas at 5 to 8 feet over the ocean. Now, the high tide tonight, that takes place at 11:41, so small craft advisory will come into effect after the frontal passage. For the central and southeastern islands, the winds also southwest at 10 to 15 knots. They will switch behind that front, becoming northwest at 12 to 18 knots. The wave height is building 3 to 6 feet over the ocean, so a caution flag will come in place for the central and southeastern Bahamas later on tonight once that frontal system goes through. And then on Monday, for all areas, we're going to have a northwest flow at 15 to 25 knots with those rough sea conditions at 5 to 8 feet over the ocean. So once again, we ask your small craft to exercise extreme caution through Monday. High tide tomorrow, 11:55 in the morning, with the low tide at 6:09 in the afternoon. And our satellite pictures are showing that frontal system approaching Lake Okeechobee, and that will approach the Grand Bahama and Abaco area sometime around 7:30 this evening, and continue to push towards the southeast, reaching the capital around 11 o'clock tonight, where you will see an increase in clouds, some showers along the frontal boundary, and maybe, just maybe, an isolated thunderstorm in the mix as well. And your forecast tonight, increasing cloudiness, a bit breezy, with the cloudiness continuing right through tomorrow with a couple of showers to develop late tonight. Now, your low temperature tonight, 66 degrees, and tomorrow, the breezy conditions again with a mixed bag of cloud and sunshine. High temperature tomorrow, 71 degrees. And your extended weather forecast looking like this. Once that front goes through, you can anticipate beautiful weather through Thursday. But those temperatures, they are going to dip. We are looking at 50s here in the capital on Monday and Tuesday. Up here in the Abacos and Grand Bahama, those temperatures, they will be flirting around the upper 40s, but certainly some low 50s in the extreme northwestern parts of our country. But just before I go to dawn, tomorrow, my protege, Diane Dawson, well, she will begin presenting the weather during the week starting on Monday, and that will continue Monday through Friday. So we'll have a new face in the house. She's been doing quite well over the weekend, so we kind of giving her a shot at the big stage come Monday.
Diane, and that will end the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. From all of us here at ZNS, I'm LaDawn Davis. Make it a great evening, everyone.
At the 66 Steps, I'm Matea Cunningham. This is ZNS.
It's your boy Landlord, and welcome to Positive TV, the place where we play positive music. And on this TV show, we set the stage for local and international